has to find somebody, finds Holmgren, the turnaround shot to tie it, and Chet Holmgren!
Kings have a chance to take the lead here. Wiggins with 5 fouls. Monk drives on him, Monk hangs, and he scores!
The shot clock is dark, they're down by 2. George wants it all, the 3! Oh!
I have to admit it, it's hard to be a Golden State Warriors fan nowadays. I mean, in the last few games alone, the Dubs blew a 20-plus point lead twice, already with the latest one coming at the hands of Paul George and the Clippers. After that heartbreaking loss, the Dubs are currently sitting near the bottom of the West as of this video, and with almost a quarter of the season already in the books, the Dubs' once unbreakable dynasty is starting to show some cracks, which has been highlighted by their subpar performance as of late, as well as their several late-game collapses. Well, in this video, let's take an in-depth look at the Warriors' recent struggles and talk about some major moves that they can make in order to save their season. Now, first, let's talk about the things that are dragging the Dubs down, starting with the mediocre performances of Klay Thompson. Coming off of back-to-back injury seasons, Klay has bounced back pretty well as he helped the Dubs win the chip in 2022. And last season, he led the league in three-pointers made while averaging 21.9 a ball game. However, things are just slipping for him right now this season as he's currently off to a bad start, averaging just 15.7 points a ball game while logging career lows in field goal percentage and three-point percentage. And when you take a look at his stats throughout their 11 losses, Klay has only been averaging 14.2 points while shooting below his usual averages, and what's worse is that he's registered a negative 4.4 plus-minus rating in all those games combined. Now, obviously, his offensive struggle as of late can be credited to his injuries. After coming back from tearing his ACL in the 2019 finals and rupturing his Achilles the following season, it has been nothing short of a miracle that Klay managed to get back on the court and is still playing at a decent level. But sad to say, I think his injuries have done permanent damage to his body, and as much as he tries to do his best to do rehab and all that, his body isn't responding to things that he wants to do. I mean, he's clearly lost a step defensively, and his legs don't have that same lift as before, which affects his ability to create separation when making his jump shot. Now, the other theory I have in mind as to why Klay is struggling right now has something to do with his contract issue. As we all know, the Warriors didn't give Klay a contract extension prior to the start of the season. This is probably something that is going through the back of his mind every time he steps onto the floor, and I think he has been indirectly affected by this mentality in the process. If you take a closer look at his game this season, you'll see that he's forcing a ton of shots and also missing a lot of shots that he would normally make at the same time. Now, I'm not sure if Klay is trying to do so much more than usual because he's feeling the pressure to do well in his contract year. But whatever he's doing right now is not helping him at all, and in fact, it's actually backfiring on him big time. As the team's second leading scorer behind Steph Curry, Klay has to find a way to help his Splash brother offensively, or if not, be productive at least in some way so he can prove that he's still valuable to the franchise. Whether it's about the irreversible effects of his injuries or the looming issues surrounding his contract, Klay has to do something to get out of his shooting slump, because if he stays this way, it's somewhat possible that the Warriors will let him go after this season. Anyway, the other player who has been on a downward trend as of late for the Dubs is Andrew Wiggins. 2 seasons ago, Wiggs was an integral part of their championship run with his ability to play at a high level on both ends of the floor. However, Wiggins has inexplicably shown some real signs of regression across the first quarter of the season thus far, as he's only averaging career lows of 12.8 points a ball game, 59.3% shooting from the foul line, and his eye-squinting 26.7% shooting from downtown. I mean, for some reason, you can notice that he looks lethargic and doesn't carry that same energy that he brought in 2 seasons ago. On top of that, he's kind of passive on several occasions, as he would often pass the ball on open looks, which is reflected by his career low 11.7 attempts this season. Wiggins is an important piece of the Dubs' small ball lineup, and his versatility on both ends are the essential things that the Dubs are looking for Wiggins to bring in every night. I mean, I don't know if he's still dealing with his off-court issues from last season, but one thing's for sure. If Wiggins is unable to bring the things that the Dubs require him to do, then it's clear as day that he won't be seeing the Dubs marching to the playoffs this season. Now, lastly, the biggest things that are causing a lot of trouble for the Dubs right now are their turnovers and fouls. As of this video, the Warriors rank 23rd in turnover percentage, and they're also the third worst in the league right now when it comes to opponents' free throws made with 20.2 a ball game. The Dubs already addressed their turnover issues by bringing in CP3, and so far, he's doing a good job of taking care of the ball for them. Now, in terms of their fouling issues, I think this is something to do with their small lineup in general, since bigger teams would be more aggressive in attacking them inside, which leads to many fouls committed by the much smaller Warriors. In this regard, the Dubs should use their quickness and learn to defend without fouling to overcome this issue. They're not a historically bad team defensively, and as long as they remain disciplined and keep their hands in their pocket, I think they can easily cross this one off their list of concerns. Anyway, from discussing their early season problems, let's now look at the other side and talk about the positives for the Dubs, as well as some recommendations to consider so that they can get back on track quickly. Now, one of the good things that has been going on for the Dubs right now is the stellar play of Steph Curry. At age 35, the chef shows no signs of slowing down, entering his 15th season, as he's currently averaging 29.1 points on 47.6% shooting from the field and 43.1% from three. He's still the Dubs' first scoring option right now, and the guy who has been carrying the offensive load for them in every game. But without much help offensively coming from the other guys, God only knows how long Steph can carry them on his old, aching back. Apart from Steph, Dario Saric has also been playing really well for the Dubs and appears to be fitting quite well in their system, with his ability to hit from range and set up his new teammates using his basketball IQ. In addition, Moses Moody has been also stepping up his game off the bench. And the biggest surprise so far for the Dubs this season is that Draymond has been shooting the lights out from three with a career high of 47.2% shooting. Anyway, that's all for the positives. And as for recommendations, I think the Warriors should give CP3 more minutes, cause as per advanced stats, the Dubs are actually doing well whenever the point guard is inserted in any of their lineups, especially in their starting unit. If you take a look at this graphic right here, you can see the 5-man lineup of Steph, Klay, Wiggs, Looney, and CP3 is actually registering better offensive and defensive numbers compared to their usual starting 5 with Draymond in it. In addition, the Dubs are also turning the ball over less with CP3 in the lineup, and almost the same result can also be observed when CP3 leads the bench while playing with the young guys. And speaking of the young guns, I think Steve Kerr should seriously consider giving their young players like GP2, Moody, Kuminga, and Pods more floor time, since Klay and Wiggs are severely struggling right now anyway. All of their young guys are just playing below 20 minutes a ball game right now, and while their numbers are not that eye-popping, mainly because of their limited playing time, you can see how productive they can become if you stretch it out per 36 minutes, and with this said, I think the Dubs should try to mix things up a bit by benching Klay and Wiggs for a couple of games, in exchange for Moody and Kuminga in the starting lineup. Anyway, whether it's about trying out different lineups or changing their offensive schemes, the Dubs must make the necessary moves right now if they're serious about competing for the championship this season. And until then, let's just wait and see how the Dubs will respond to the current challenges they're dealing with as of the moment.